In this article, we discuss accounting for COVID-19 related rent concessions. And we know that the IASB made a decision on Friday, the 15th of May, to make an amendment to the brand new IFRS 16 to create special rules on how do we account for COVID-19 related rent concessions. First of all, it's really important that our clients assess whether they meet the requirements to be eligible for this practical expedient. So that would mean that we have to make sure that these rent concessions are specifically linked or as a result of COVID-19. It's important that the rent concession provides relief for payments up to 30 June 2021 and not after that date, and also that we've not made any other changes to our lease agreements. Now, usually when we have rent concessions, it would meet the criteria of a lease modification, which results in quite complex accounting treatment, and you have to update the incremental borrowing rate, update the lease liability, etc. In this instance, it's a special rule, a practical expedient that is available. So lessees could say, we're not going to do an individual assessment. We're just going to assume it's not a lease modification and we'll treat it as a variable lease payment, a negative variable lease payment. Very important for our clients to make sure that they agree these rent concessions with their landlords before 30 June 2020. Because as soon as you've agreed the rent concession, you could recognize the resulting benefit in your profit and loss, even though that reduction in payment result in less payments up to 30 June next year. However, if you only agree these rent concessions after 30 June 2020, it would potentially be a non-adjusting event. So commercially important to negotiate rent concessions for the cash flow benefit, but even now for the accounting treatment, it would be good to lock that in. Now, finally, I've included an interesting background again. Now this time the background is a painting by a local artist here in Sandringham in Victoria, Katie McKinnon. It was my very first painting of an Australian artist, so it's really an important thing. Usually I just buy Portuguese or South African artists, so it was wonderful to find an artist with such vibrant, colourful paintings. So thank you, Katie McKinnon.